So I think we are now sharp at 3 o'clock afternoon Jakarta time. Let's begin our webinar today. So good afternoon, everybody. My name is Tatas Brotosudarmo, and I'm honored to welcome you all together with my colleague, Ms. Leonie Nagarajan. We serve as the EURAXESS Worldwide Representative for ASEAN. We extend a warm greeting to all of you joining us from across our vibrant ASEAN region, and welcome to Choose Europe, the premier destination for your PhD journey. Today we will have, in our session, we will have our distinguished speakers. I would like to introduce you. In the beginning, we have Mr. Jérôme Pons. He is the head of cooperations at the delegation of the European Union to Indonesia, Brunei Darussalam, and also ASEAN. And then afterward, we will have Dr. Francis de la Rosa. He is the assistant professor, Department of Chemistry, de la Salle University in the Philippines. So without further ado, we hope that today's session promises to be exciting, and especially for those who are seeking opportunities to study PhD in Europe and to develop capacity beyond conduct research, excellent research that impact to the society. Do not be worried if you are maybe do not catch up the parts of the presentations, because we will record this event, this webinar, and also related to the materials, information materials we will also upload. Please register in our EURAXESS ASEAN so that we can send you flash notes concerning this recording. So without further ado, we will have Mr. Jérôme Pons for the welcoming remarks. Please, Pak Jérôme.
Voilà. Sorry. You see, this is a webinar for researcher, and I can't even find a mouse on my screen. So we are starting from very far here. Good. Look, good afternoon and greetings from Jakarta. Very glad to be here today and to talk to you about Europe and research, of course. Good afternoon, Dr. Francis de la Rosa, and good afternoon, Dr. Tatas and Miss Leonie, working on our famous EURAXESS program. So you know much better why it is important to go to Europe to study, but I will just give you a few pointers and then we can elaborate on that later. So very good to be here for this webinar. I think it is really important that we, as the European Union, the delegation based here, where our job is basically to promote the collaboration between EU and the region. I think it's very fitting that we are here to introduce that discussion and help you out with your effort. Why should researchers choose Europe? I mean, for me as a European, it's clear. This is the European way of life. We have something that is unique in the world, and when you go to Europe to study, you will really enjoy the quality of life that people in Europe enjoy today. This is, I think, very important because it's not just a choice for education; it's a choice for you, for your life, for the people and the family that you come with you, and therefore this is I think very, very important. We have in Europe, from more research point of view, very, very prestigious and renowned university and research institution. Actually, there is a wide variety of institution organization that do research in Europe. I think it is really the history that is behind those institutions that really give them the credential, the importance and of course attractiveness for you. As you know, hundreds of scientists are coming from Europe. Hundreds of scientific breakthroughs are made in Europe, and basically this is an ecosystem of intellectuals that actually help any researcher grow as much as possible. We do have, I will not do a comparison, although it is very tempting to compare with some other part of the world that are also interesting for research. But one key element here, or maybe a few key elements, one, we have a diversity of language, and this is good because it allows different approach to think, different point of views to be raised, and the variety of those language. I'm coming from a country, you can certainly guess that from my accent, which has its own tradition in research. We have been very proud to be able to study and to do research on whatever field you could think of all over, in any kind of areas. The French were always very positive that they can do state-of-the-art science. I think 40, 50 years ago, we realized that the rest of the world was also an interesting place, and we have opened up to that. And you will see that now, even in France, where the language is quite strong, you will find education in English in France, and you will have state-of-the-art from both sides, from the French research as well as from the English-speaking world research in general. So keep that in mind. I think it's very, very important. You have that diversity that possibly nobody else can give you. Then, of course, EU and research and education and university, this is public funding. We put a lot of money into our public institution, our research institution. And yes, I'm sure you will hear from the crowd today in the webinar, we don't do enough. There's not enough public funding. We can always do with more. But basically, it's the principle behind that is important. We continue to pump money into this because we think it has value. We could do more. Public money could be increased, but still we have a lot going on. And that not only give you access to very brilliant research instruments whenever they are needed, or equipment, or teams, because you do need people to do research, but it also reduces the tuition fee. Which is very important, because then you get more and more students doing research, and those are people that contribute to your own research as well. So it is very important, and that public funding is there is no better system elsewhere in the world on that, even if some countries are really also putting money into their system. I think Europe is a very special case, and I think you can enjoy that and benefit from it, even coming from outside Europe. And maybe the last point, but I have raised it in the very beginning, we have incredible researcher, incredible equipment in the EU, and of course we have global recognition. No need to mention any name of specific university or research center. Most people, when you ask them what are the best in the world, they will give you a few names coming from America, maybe from the US. But all in all, if we are not on top of the public list, we are number 2 or number 3, which I think is actually very good. And the comparison is always difficult to do, but I think once you are on the top, and we are on the top, this is very important for you to consider the EU. Voilà, that's my key point on that. One element that is very important, of course, for the EU is the Marie Curie action. So Marie Sklodowska-Curie, because she was actually half Polish, half French. But as a Frenchman, I see her as a French lady, definitely. And she was so important that definitely she must have been very French. She is actually a result of cross-fertilization between countries, actually, half Polish, half France. She studied in France. She revolutionized medicine and physics. She got a Nobel Prize, actually, I think, starting with both, with medicine and then physics. She's probably the only one having actually a Nobel Prize in 2 different disciplines. And this is, she's from the end of the 19th century. So basically, in 120 years, we have not beaten that lady. She's still top of the list on that. And I think it's really fitting that we have action, we have scholarship, if I can call it like that, named after her, because it's really it shows what we can do. And the EU has been actually supporting science enough to get some 40 plus Nobel Prizes laureate in the past. So you see that is again something that is important to keep in mind, because at the end of the day, when you do research, what you want to do is get a Nobel Prize, even if you don't want to admit it to your family. Somewhere in the back of your mind, this is what you want. You want the okay, right, I'll stop there. Final point for me, more strategic with what we do. The EU has a very bold investment strategy for the world, which we call Global Gateway. It's an investment strategy. We are actually putting money into programs and projects all over the world. We have spent 300 billion already on that, mostly energy, transport, and digital matter. And this is very good. It's about infrastructure. It's about connecting people. But I want you to understand very well that whenever we do that for a very good reason. We do that to connect people. This is very important. You have heard this funny expression, people to people contact. We believe that this is very true. This is the bottom line of supporting partners and developing partnership. Research is full part of that. It's full part of the EU global strategy. And this is why I'm very happy to do that introduction for you today, because research is about researching, it's about finding, it's about practical implementation. The Global Gateway strategy is really helpful in that it opens market, it opens exchanges with Europe and the rest of the world, to be honest. So for you, it's really an opportunity for your discovery. It's really an opportunity to open up one good reason to go to Europe and to study. I think I've said what I wanted to say, just to reaffirm, maybe in conclusion, our commitment to the partnership with the ASEAN, and in particular in the field of research, very important to us. It's full part, it's one of the key priority of the plan of action. Plan of action is what we have agreed with ASEAN to deliver in terms of priority. So it is there, and we want to strengthen scientific capacities and to accelerate innovation in the region. So in short, I really encourage you first to listen to what will be said today in this webinar, and to tick the right box when you make your application. Go to Europe, go to study, and to be honest, change your life. Okay, thank you very much. It was very good to be there, and looking forward to listen to you a little bit more.
Thank you so much, Mr. Jérôme, for your word, for your encouraging and also inspiring word, supporting Choose Europe to pursue your not only study PhD, but also change your life. So before we continue to the next session with the Dr. Francis de la Rosa, we would like to share with you some informations related to the Mari Skakuri actions, which is the premier program related to this supporting the capacity of PhD. So just for background, we will explain to you what is actually Horizon Europe and what are the MSCA and how Horizon Europe and MSCA link to your possible PhD opportunity. So to have a background, this is Horizon Europe. Horizon Europe is the largest EU key funding program, actually the largest funding program in the world, with a budget of 95.5 billion euros, and with the objective to tackle climate change and also help achieve UN Sustainable Development Goals and to boost EU competitiveness and growth. With focus to facilitate international collaboration, strengthen the impact of research and innovation, and also support creation and the sharing excellent knowledge and technologies. So within the Horizon Europe, we have Mari Skakuri Action, which is as part of the excellent science, which is under the pillar 1. So under Horizon Europe, MSCA are actually the flagships, the European Union flagship funding program for doctoral educations and also postdoctoral training of researchers. And MSCA fund excellent research and innovation and equip researchers at all stages. So of course, if you would like to pursue your PhD, and this is the great avenue for you. MSCA actions actually have several actions. So we have the doctoral networks, the focus of our today webinar. And then we also have postdoctoral fellowships, staff exchanges. There is also co-funding, co-fund, and also MSCA and citizens for the public outreach event. Also, currently there will be a Choose Europe for Science, which is at the moment a pilot co-funding for postdoctoral program. So our focus today is MSCA doctoral networks. So what is it? MSCA doctoral network, if you are joining to these networks, basically this network is set up by several institutions, not only universities or research institutions, but also non-academic institutions like startup companies, NGOs, to train a creative entrepreneur and also innovative resilient doctoral candidate. So basically, if you are joining to this program, there will be a skill development. So you will gain new skills, yeah, and then to enhance the employability and also career prospects, not only in academia, but also in industry. And this is very important. And then knowledge creations, you will acquire knowledge to transform ideas into product or services. And then also will improve the networking for peers and also communications with the public to broaden research and innovation impact. There are three types of MSCA doctoral networks. The first one is standard doctoral networks, standard doctoral program. Basically, you will join part of the classical program. Yeah, this is the participant implemented a joint research based doctoral training program, and there will be a joint supervision is there. And then we have industrial doctoral program, which is focused on training with the non-academic sector, mandatory for joint supervision. There will be a joint supervision between university and also industry. And then we also have the doctoral candidate must spend at least minimum 50% of their time in the non-academic sector. And then we have joint doctorate program. In this program, you will join and you are able to have this kind of like a joint degree or double degree, at least from the one EU member states. So this is the key features of the MSCA doctoral networks. It is related to the training to increase the career opportunity and employabilities, and then you have research-related transferable skills. You have the interlink individual research projects because you will work within the consortiums of different institutions which forming this kind of the networks. You have the secondment opportunity to conduct research in outside of the host, the international mobility, career development plan, and so on. And especially for this year onwards, so we have the updates on the work program 2026 and 2027. So the update is related to the focus on the career development plan. This career development plan is related to the you will be working together with your supervisor, yeah, to create a kind of comprehensive career development plan for you. And then there will be engagement or participations in the conferences, events that promote open science and also research engagement to citizens, and then related to the timely updates, so established at the recruitment start and also revised as needed within the 18 months. Updates also related to the secondment. Secondment is planned and a temporary period research training where doctorate candidate is hosted by a different organization within the consortium. And this is intersectoral secondments. And secondment in the third countries are encouraged when it's relevant, visible, and also beneficial. And it has to be in line with the project objectives. And also this is very important because it will increase the employability of you outside academia. So the secondment with this work program 2026-2027 is eligible for up to half of the actual months spent implementing your research activity under this action. So this limitation does not apply in the case of industrial doctorates and joint doctorates, because in the case of industrial doctorate, for example, the doctorate candidate must spend at least 50% of your fellowship duration in the non-academic sector. If you are coming from chemistry or engineering or social sciences or environment basically most of the field of research field is already there. So it is open opportunity to others, and this is open to any nationalities. That's why we encourage us from ASEAN to join this to join these actions, to come Europe and to pursue your PhD, as long as you don't have a PhD degree at the time of the requirement. So this is related to the funding, but this is the information from last year, 2025. Usually you will receive per person per month, you will receive like living allowance, mobility allowance, as shown in this slide. That allows you to mobile, to have the mobility to develop your own research. So if you are interested, what are the next steps? So first of all, of course, you will need to get the EU login account. You will create a EURAXESS profile and also understand the eligibility, and also familiarize yourself with the EURAXESS platform, because this is very important platform to you to search for PhD position in Europe. So get a EU login account to access our EURAXESS portals, and then this is the EURAXESS portal. It's very easy. You can type in the Google, you type on your search engine, and you will find the EURAXESS. You can click here, and then you open to you to register yourself and create your account. For example, this is myself, yeah. And then after creating that account, you can understand, read application requirement and so on related to MSCA doctoral networks, and then understand the eligibility and so on, how you apply this for the PhD vacancies funded by the MSCA projects. So to familiarize yourself, so you can find in these examples, yeah, this is the EURAXESS portal where you can search jobs, yeah, find jobs and opportunity, and then you can do your search there. For example, if you do the search, you can use the filter. For example, if you are looking for PhD position, so use the first stage researchers position, master position, PhD position, Horizon Europe MSCA, and then you will find, for example, this one. This is information, which is very nice information related to the position. For example, here in the Denmark, and then there is an opportunity. There is a description about offer descriptions, and then the work plan, objectives, expected results. So basically, what you need to apply this PhD position in Europe. Okay. If you want to have any questions, you can also contact us. And then after the sessions, we would like to invite Dr. Francis. Hello, Dr. Francis.
Yes, I am here.
Yeah, very nice to hear your voice. Now, Dr. Francis, after we hear about MSCA doctoral networks, you have experience, yeah, because you did your PhD using this actions, the MSCA doctoral network. So please, we would like to hear the experience from you.
Okay, sure.
Yes.
So I will now share my screen. So my laptop is working now.
Yeah.
So do you see my screen?
Yes, we can see.
Nice.
Yeah.
Thanks. So I will start now. So I'm sharing my experience to you in Europe. So at first, I will let you know that, of course, I'm from the Philippines, and I'm an Asian, pro-ASEAN, and at the same time, sometimes Philippines, they call it as like an Asian or a Pacific Islander country, whatever. But what I'm telling to you is my very, very good experience here in Europe. Okay, so here's my name. So Francis M. De La Rosa. So I obtained 2 PhD degrees in Europe. So this is under European Joint Doctorate Program. So University of Zagreb in Croatia. So if you are familiar with Vladimir Prilog in chemistry, because I obtained chemistry degree, that's with the University of Zagreb, and then University of Girona in Spain. So I obtained here a PhD in water science and technology. So it's a joint doctorate. So I spent more time in Croatia than Spain, but I still live both I live in both countries during the pandemic. So this is much more interesting for you because even though there is a pandemic, I still manage to do my research. So what more do you if I mean during this time it's not pandemic, it will be much more be good to your life and to your research. Okay. So my work is under environmental catalysis and water chemistry and green chemistry. So I'll share now this to you. Okay. So way back 2019, I was hired as an ESR's early stage researcher under Novelty's joint doctorate program. So I'm here at the bottom. So you will see here lots of people from different EU countries. So I will introduce to you all of these, let's say, participants later on, at least the countries and the universities. But I'm here. So you will see that it's a lot of gathering among the different kinds of people. So you will hear different kinds of ideas. You will really grow. That's what I'm sure about. Okay, so I'm telling you about my program. This is Novelties, European Joint Doctorate. So it stands for Joint PhD Laboratory for New Materials and Inventive Water Treatment Technologies. So harnessing resources effectively through innovation. So basically, that's the long name of our joint doctorate program. So it is composed of different research institutions, such as Catalan Institute for Water Research in Spain, so University of Santiago de Compostela in Spain, RWTH Aachen University in Germany, Technical University of Munich, of course, my faculty, Faculty of Chemical Engineering and Technology in Croatia. So you also have this Faculty of Mechanical Engineering and Naval Structure in Croatia. You have University of Belgrade in Serbia, and at the same time, University of Ferrara in Italy. Also, if you will see here at the bottom of the screen, you will see the University of Girona, partner institutions. You will also have Switzerland, University of Applied Sciences and Arts of Northwestern Switzerland. And then we have Hera LDT from Italy, Setaqua from Spain. So basically, these are partner universities at the same time companies which we are working with. So basically, it's not just about the typical PhD that we think that we need to publish, but we also are exposed here in industry. So industry plus research. So there's always link to that. Okay, so at least you know that in this kind of scheme, there is almost at least 5 or more universities that are working with each other. So here, our instructors, or let's say professors, are not just coming from one university, so we are trained. So for example, we have some training school that's conducted in Germany. So there are people from Technical University of Munich trains us. So there are times that we go to Spain. So things like that. So everyone trains us. So and it's a very collaborative network. Okay, so let's move to next one. So this is an interesting thing that I need to share this to you. You will see names, including me, and at the same time, the countries where the early stage researchers are comes from. So you will see here lots from Latin America, also from Europe, but you will see here that there is only one from ASEAN, and that's me, from the Philippines. So I encourage you to apply. When I apply here, I just apply and then pray. But I know, I believe that I will still be selected. But please take note that Maris Kudo Security Actions is the European flagship program for PhDs and postdoctoral trainings. So this is a topmost, let's say, program for Europe. So as you can see here, why is the reason that we have different nationalities? Because we are really screened here. So I suggest that when you apply, read carefully the instructions. It's easy, but again, please have the courage to apply. So, okay, so these are the my colleagues. So let's move to the next one. So again, I work here in University of Zagreb in Croatia, and then Universidad de Girona or de Girona in Catalan. So I work with Professor Herwig Kusic of University of Zagreb and Professor Mira Petrovic of ICRA. So when I check first the program that I'm applying to, so I'm quite surprised that most of the supervisors are already editors of journals. Like for example, Professor Herwig Kusic is an editor of Chemical Engineering Journal, and Professor Mira Petrovic is the editor-in-chief of Trends in Environmental Analytical Chemistry. So just like what Jérôme mentioned to you a while ago, there is really no doubt about the capability of Europe. At the same time, the people who you are working with, so you will really be trained in terms of scientific perspective. But I think I will focus more on what much more unique thing about Europe. But later on, I will show you to that. But again, our program is more about water treatment. At the same time, the needs for the people to have access to clean water. So basically, we focus on SDG 6. Okay, so each one of us, the ESRs or early stage researchers, we are basically focused on water treatment, but again, we are not all chemists. Some of them are biologists, physicists, technologists, chemical engineers. So I'm a chemist by myself. So all of us are designated or focused on a certain portion of wastewater treatment. So when we say wastewater treatment facility, it's not just about let's say biological removal or let's say chemical treatment. It's not like that. There is a lot of portions in wastewater treatment that we can deal with. But again, in my case, I focus more of our research in advanced oxidation technology. Okay, so I'll focus now about my life in Croatia because I believe this is much more. I will tell this very unique experience to me aside from the research itself, which I can share to you again if we still have time. But this one is more on my life. So I have my name, Francis M. De La Rosa. So there in Croatia, they gave me my name. So they gave me Franjo. And then since there is no correct translation of De La Rosa, because it's a Spanish surname to Croatia, so they give me another name. So this Rosa is Rose, so in Croatia it's Ruja, so it becomes Rujic. So and now I give my middle names Godan. Godan is like a handsome guy. So I now have my full name in Croatia, Franjo Zgodan Rujic. So that's my name in Croatia. But anyhow, this gives me a lot of let's say pickup lines when I'm talking to different peoples there. Okay, so I'll share you my again. This is pandemic. Okay, so some of us just remove the mask during this time, but again, we have a really good family here. So you can see me here in the middle. Okay, so if you will see in Europe, so Europe is really balanced, and as you can see, Maris Kodosa Curie. So they give priority or let's say equal rights to women. So as you can see, there are lots of women researchers that I'm working with, and it's really balanced. So these are this happened, I think, 2021. So there's some form of let's say there's still COVID during that time, but there's less restrictions way back then. Or maybe we just remove our masks. Okay, so here's our video. So I'll try to. So that's basically a Croatian sentence. So it tells. I will come back tomorrow and I'll claim victory. Because I'm failing with some of my experiments. I think this is my second month of my stay in Croatia. There's still no pandemic during that time, but I'm making fun and research with my colleagues. Okay, so again, upper left here are pictures with my co-ESRs. This is in Santiago de Compostela. So before pandemic, and then you will see here there are people when we are wearing masks because of pandemic, but we still continue doing such things. And then I eat a lot, and then travel a lot when it's possible because there's problem with boundaries or let's say travel restrictions. And then as you can see here, I arrived in Croatia September 2019. So as early as February 2020, as you can see, it's like a 3, 4, 5 months. Then I already have my presentation because okay, I just like Jerome tells you, like all the equipments are there. It's much more easier to work because you have lots of collaborative work with your let's say co-PhD students. So it's much more easier for us. Okay, so again, travel. Again, if I will place all my pictures here, it will consume like 3, 4 hours for me to tell all of those my stories. But again, it's like I'm telling you, what's unique about Europe is that Europe gives time to family. If you will notice Tatas presentation a while ago, there's such thing as family allowance. So if you have your kid or your kids or your, let's say, your wife or your husband with you, you are entitled to family allowance. In my case, I don't have any family allowance that I receive because I don't have any kid and I don't have wife during the time, even up to now. But again, the point is that Europe gives a lot of time for your family. At the same time, it really gives importance to work-life balance. I've been to Asia, not just Philippines. I worked in some parts of Asia, and I really know the difference, and I know what I'm telling you. And I really tell you that please do apply in EURAXESS. That's the gateway. And then please, I think during this time, a lot of calls are open, January, February, March, up to April. I think even up to June. It's all year round, but again, Marie Curie most days in the first half of the year. So please do apply. It's really a life-changing experience for me. So at least this only summary because I want to pinpoint it is the most unique experience that I have in Europe, aside from the scientific journey that I have.
Thank you so much, Francis. You look very happy and then always smiled when you did your PhD. It's different like what people know in the comics. Usually they saw like PhD like they are working very hard and very like it's stressful, but you smiled. So together with me, it's not only we have also Leonie Nagaraja, my colleagues. Will guide you through these question and answer sessions. Yeah. So, Leonie, maybe from your side, if there is any questions, maybe from our audience. Yeah. Let's check our
Let's check.
questions.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So thank you so much, Tatas. Thank you so much, Francis. It was a lovely presentation, very personal as well. And it was, of course, they're interested in your academic career path, but I think our participants also wanted to know the overall experience. I'm quite sure you also sweat a lot of long nights or no sleep at all. And you didn't include this in the presentation. We all know that, but I think what came really across is that it is a very holistic experience on the research side, on a professional learning side, but also on it's a cultural journey as well, and which has shaped professionally and personally your following years. So we have a few questions here. Some of them Tatas and I will respond, but Francis, you need to stay here because some of them are also directed to you. And even though we have 2 people here who actually did their PhDs, Tatas as well, he's also an MSCA alumni, and he can in a way also share. But Francis, please keep your video on so we can see you as some questions are for you. So let's start with the question from Panka. Who comes from Indonesia, currently a civil servant. The question might be relevant for all of you in the audience who are currently working, because Panka is still working, and would like to know whether, while in the employment status, I think, excuse me, Panka, is it, Tatas, you have to tell me because he's Indonesian, he or she?
Pancha.
Pancha, si, is it
Pancho.
she? Is
He.
it?
I think he.
Okay, I assume, sorry for that, Pancha. Pancha would like to know, can he still, do his PhD while being employed in their home country? So, even though Francis smiled all the time in the pictures, no, it is a full-time job. So if you apply for an MSCA under a PhD, then you need to move. You need to leave your current job, and it is actually considered as a full-time job. You will receive a salary. You have seen this earlier in the slides. And that it requires you also to be present there all the time and deliver. It's a full-time job. Then, do you want to add something here, Tatas or Francis?
Yes, exactly what Leonie mentioned. This is full-time job. Basically, when you accept it as the PhD using the MSCA, basically you sign a contract, right, Francis? Yeah, like a MSCA contract with the university you work. Basically, it is like a job. Maybe Francis can add actually.
Yes, yes. So basically, it's a full-time job. You don't need to worry about the money. European Union pays a lot. So I will tell you, let's say this is the common story about Marie Skłodowska-Curie fellows. So you are paid more than the normal PhDs in Europe. So I think you're even paid more than half than the normal PhDs. I will check. I think in my case, I'm paid double than a normal PhD student. So that is how high the salary is. You don't need to work anymore with other jobs. You don't need to worry. What you need to worry or focus more is to finish your PhD, have papers, and enjoy your life.
Thank you. So you have actually seen in Francis' slides that he was not the only one doing a PhD. And I mean, I think you have understood that when we are talking about this, you are part of a network, a part of a bigger project. So that's why also it's a full-time job, full-time commitment. And Francis, you highlighted it is rewarded as well. It's very competitive as well. It is one of the most competitive PhD programs, I think, in general. So, of course, with competition and high quality and high excellence comes then also the recognition. So be prepared for this, but there are a few questions later how to write a competitive proposal and application. So next question is, it's an anonymous attendee. He would like to know, to search for open PhD positions, do I go to the EURAXESS portal or do I search in the university in Europe for any program of interest and apply for the funding through the potential supervisor? So, there are regular PhD programs offered by universities, and there are MSCA programs. And for the MSCA PhDs, you have to go to the EURAXESS portal. And it might be that you know a supervisor in a university who is developing together with others a doctoral network, but everything which is open for PhD positions under MSCA is on EURAXESS website. It's a very transparent process. And in the slides you probably have seen, the details are all listed there. So you have to go through this. And for that one, you also need to have a EURAXESS account and an EU login account. We have a next, we move now to Vietnam, Thuy. And Thuy is currently holding a master's degree in nursing from a university in Taiwan. She is seeking to pursue doctoral training and would like to ask whether nursing is an eligible discipline for this program. So for this one, we have shown you earlier there's a filter option where you can check if your research field is currently is listed. And if it's not listed, then you need to see which one is closest to what you're currently doing as a master's degree. Definitely, and I saw a question on, I think, animal sciences. You will not find, for example, animal science in the list of filter options, but there are other areas like, for example, in general, environmental science, where partially maybe animal science falls under. So that one, you need to be a little bit interdisciplinary if you don't find the exact keyword, or if you find the exact study field, because an MSc is an interdisciplinary PhD as well. Maybe Francis, you can highlight this as well, or Tatas as well, but maybe we first go to Francis.
Okay. So for example, in my case, so I have a master's degree in chemistry. But as you can see, when I obtained my PhD, or when I'm doing my PhD, so I also learn about water science, water treatment. I also learn about some biology for toxicity. So basically, it's a merging of different fields and into one. So I think for the person who is asking about animal science, I think you can consider about molecular biology. So everything will conspire into one. It's a mixture of it's really highly interdisciplinary. Like for me, I don't have any engineering background, but after finishing this PhD, I now have an engineering background. So it's really mind blowing. At the same time, it's really enriching for you to have it. So please don't think in just one field, because this Marie Curie is mostly about really in the crossing borders of different fields. Just like that's the reason why when you check Marie Curie, she herself alone is a multidisciplinary scientist. So please, I think that's also one of the inspirations of this fellowship. So at least please consider different fields as well, because it's really a mixed one.
Yeah, sorry. This is very interesting from my side. Maybe Francis, maybe you could highlight. You are a chemist. How you can able to talk with people from, for example, from other field, physics or biologists, because sometimes we are not in the same language. Yeah, we talk in the chemistry, we talk that way, but how this happening that make your project successful? Yeah.
Yeah, that's quite. At first, so we're like aliens to each other. We cannot understand what we want. I mean, because for example, in the perspective of chemists, what we think about the molecules, but in the perspective of chemical engineer, they think of a large scale. And then when we talk about physics, they talk about the technology. So it takes time, but again, because of the summer schools or because of the trainings, there is like a baseline education where all of you will meet. So it's like fundamentals first. Let's say it's like a staircase. Fundamentals first, everyone will learn those fundamentals, and then they will talk about some of chemistry. So now non-chemistry majors will learn about chemistry for the water, and then after that we will learn about some of the physics technologies, and then we will now learn from that. And then after I think 1 or 2 summer school, we now share the same language, and now we know which part of wastewater treatment plant will we work on to, and then everything is now synchronous.
Thank you. I'm going to take 2 more questions, Tatas, and then I hand over to you also to go through, because I see there are some people who might see you somewhere in Palembang. It seems to be some academic conference there where you are also invited. Tatas is also a professor in Indonesia, so might know some of the students today who are joining this webinar. So my first point, which I would like to address, is a question I think by Sofani, who, if I remember correctly from the chat, is from Cambodia, and Sofani has a PhD in animal nutrition, and now asks if can do another PhD again on animal health in the EU, and this is connected to a question by an anonymous attendee. Is this offer only for PhD positions? So any one of you who's currently already having a PhD, either holds a PhD or is currently pursuing it, Once you're finished, you are looking for an MSCA postdoctoral fellowship. So if you have already a PhD, this program will not be open to you. This is for those who have not yet a PhD. But once you have it, then there is this other very attractive program called the MSCA postdoctoral fellowship. And that opens really new opportunities and career paths. And then I would like to take a question by Priliani Madina, I think from Indonesia as well. And I'm really happy to read, Priliani, that you have been applying for PhD opportunities for the past 3 years and you continue to do so. Rest assured, Priliani, there are top researchers, and I will share this with you. It's a researcher from Singapore who has just received a synergy grant from the European Research Council. Even he has been applying several times and continues to do so. At some point, it will work out. It is a competitive program, but this should not disencourage you if you're not able to receive it for the first time or second time or even maybe third time. And this is also something which, I think established researchers experience throughout their career. There are other funding opportunities, though, which you can consider at the same time. So if you go on the EURAXESS website, there is a page which is also focusing on national initiatives under the overall Team Europe and Choose Europe for Science. So here you will see national research funding opportunities. Many of them are also for PhDs, where you can apply. This could be an alternative, or this could be complementing your current existing applications under MSCA. Tatas, I hand over to you. And I see the questions are really coming in. I'm not sure if we are able to finish them. We still have 10 more minutes.
Yes, thank you so much, Leonie. I'm not really sure whether this is already addressed, but this is very interesting, especially from my side, because when submitting a proposal to get this PhD positions, we have to talk with our supervisor. Yeah. So how maybe Francis, if you could maybe elaborate or give the suggestions. Yeah. Or for example, like choosing the topics whether related to the supervisor research expertise and also novelties, and how does it works? Yeah, to
Okay.
have this kind of priority. Yeah.
Okay. So for example, for a specific project, for example, in my case, novelties. So there are 15 projects to choose from. So basically, you will be asked to choose at least maximum of 3. So top priority, second priority, and then third priority. And then I'll just share you the experience. So I think we are like 600 candidates, and then they are ranking it based from credentials. And then after ranking all the applicants with the points, that's the time that they will choose top 3 candidates for each position. So basically, you can apply 3 positions, but again, if your score is still high, you can be offered to another position. For example, there's 15 position, you apply for ESR 1, 2, 3, and then since your score is high and they still want you, you can be offered for position 14 or 15. It depends on your background. So, for example, that happens to me 2 times because I applied, I think, 2 times or 3 times in an MSCA program. So basically, I think this is my 3rd time applying. So second time applying, they offer me different position, but again, in the same consortium. That happens. So again, please choose, my suggestion is please choose the exact field that you have in your master's and bachelor's that is directly related to the supervisor. That's my advice to you, so that the chances for you to get the position is high. And then after that, you can choose other positions as well. And then let's pray. And then after the rankings, you will know if you will be chosen or not.
Yeah, thank you. By the way, if you like apply this kind of position under the MSCA, is that like a requirement that you have already like publications? Because sometimes in the ASEAN context, yeah,
Yes,
nightmare
yes.
is, for example, like master student has to be like already like published, and
Yeah.
then how does
Here
it?
in Europe, publication is not required for masters. So even you don't have any publications during your masters, you can still be inside the PhD program. So I think I'll give you some hint, or let's say some pointers. Mobility is important because I think I don't know how many points are they giving to that, but if you are already work in outside your country, you're, let's say, for example, I'm a Filipino. If I already work outside my country, that's a plus points when you apply. Of course, if you have publications in your masters, that's a great thing. Research exposure is also a plus points. But again, it's more of your, let's say, overall personality, at the same time your edge to do PhD research. But again, mobility is very important.
Yeah, thank you so much. I think this is like you mentioned about personality is important because you mentioned that MSCA you need to work within the group, yeah, and then within the consortium. I think you need to have ability to communication and mingle to different field, yeah, and how to create a project together. There is also questions here, maybe related to I saw, but I lost it. Is this actually the English? Because usually one of the important part is like IELTS or TOEFL, because if we go to the internationals, requirement is like to be there is like English like TOEFL and IELTS. How about your case, Francis?
In our case, for the whole novelties program, IELTS and TOEFL are not required. So yeah, they waive it as long as we are trained or we have a certification of that our university. For example, in my case, in the Philippines, the medium of instruction is in English. So we're just asked for a certificate of medium of instruction. That's in English, and then that's it. So everything is waived. And this is my experience. During after pointing system, there will be a shortlisting, and then you will have a face-to-face or at least Zoom interview with your prospective supervisor. In that moment, they already know if you can speak well or not. So I think that's the reason why they're waiving the English certifications.
Thank you so much. Maybe for Leonie, if you have any additionals from the question that we received, I think we still have a little bit time, yeah, 3 minutes.
We still have 3 more minutes. So I just saw a question by somebody who's moving to Europe, ask if he joined a family. That is lovely. And if that person would be still eligible for opportunities available for EURAXESS and MSCA schemes. It doesn't matter where you live and which nationality you are, you can apply for an MSCA program. However, there are mobility requirements and conditions. So you have to read this very carefully because you cannot apply in the same country where you are going basically to the university next door. It is at the end a mobility program as well. So this is something you have to be careful about. We didn't go into the details here, but maybe you can send us your interest and where you will be moving, and then we can tell you a bit more. I'm just scrolling now through some questions. Question about the PhD program under psychology. Thanks, Christine, for sharing what you're currently researching on. You do a master's in neuroscience. As I mentioned before, and Tatas has also highlighted this, an MSCA PhD it's very interdisciplinary, and there are probably almost all disciplines somehow covered. But you will not be able to find immediately maybe exactly that field you are interested in. You need to think a little bit left and right as well when you are looking for it on the EURAXESS platform. The PhD programs, they are set. It's a network, and you will be part of this network. It is not that you are submitting your own proposal and this will be then evaluated. It is a program already set up, and there are certain goals and objectives which this doctoral network wants to achieve, and you have to fit in. It's like, as I said, like a job. Which you will then be applying for, and you will be hired for this. Let me see here. There's something.
Yes, I think we have 1 more minute.
1 more minute. Well, we had a few questions here about secondments. Yes, there are secondments, and mobility is a key part. Looking at the time, PhD program for master's degree in IT industry, definitely you will find a lot in the field of STEM and technology as well, and industrial doctoral programs definitely. You can, and Tatas has shared the slide, and we will send all of you a follow-up message. Please reach out to us if you have a question. We are happy to respond to that by email. That is what we are for, Tatas and me. Those who are based in the Philippines and happen to be at De La Salle University, then you have actually an advantage, because Francis is just around the corner. Tatas and I will also be in the Philippines in a few weeks' time, and we are visiting. We are on missions across ASEAN at various universities and organize these sessions for you. So hopefully we'll meet some of you in person and do the more in-depth training with you on site. But for now, if you have any burning questions, please reach out to us by email. It was really nice to see the great response, the very active chat here. Apologize if we couldn't take all the questions, but we will meet again either online or on site. And you will receive from us a follow-up with details. The PPT will be shared, the recording will be shared. So could you get the email? Yes, we can actually, Tatas, can you just quickly put in the chat our ASEAN@EURAXESS.net email? So then you can send us an email. Tatas is based in Indonesia. I'm based in Singapore. In case we are just around the corner, then we can also meet. So with this, big thank you to, first of all, Jérôme. I think he's still with us in the background. Big thank you to Francis, who is also supporting us on our activities in the Philippines, which are coming up. And we look forward to seeing you again. We have a number of other webinars in the coming 2-3 months. Some of them are more in general about Horizon Europe, like, for example, what is open science and how to apply open science principles under Horizon Europe. What is the gender dimension? What about the green components when it comes to applications and projects under Horizon Europe? So yeah, stay connected with us and have a good year ahead, and all the best for your application.
Bye-bye. See you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you very much.
Thank you.